few little things before we put the wings together. Things I had to update. I got the dihedral cut in the spar. There was a few blocks I had to put in on the rear spar that I forgot about. Oops. That one's got to go in there. And this one goes in there. So those are DHW29C. DHW29C, I had that one in there. This is DHW29D. That goes in there. There's also one right here I'm going to put in. That was DH29B. So I'm just going to glue those up today, get them in place and glue them in. A couple other things that I was starting to look at and question is where to drill the holes. There's no real dimensions there, so I can measure up and measure up and drill the holes in there before we get the ribs on. That will make it easier. Same on the rear spar. Get a couple holes drilled in there before we glue it up. It should be easier to do now. And really, if I do the dimensions off of here, however many inches up, I should be able to determine then this hardware afterwards and just drill holes in the same place on the hardware so that they'll line up when we put all the hardware together. Let's hope. All right, another little detail here. Tip extension includes the 16th spar and the 1/2 inch filler. So there is a blocking behind here, 1/2 inch, DHW29E, 1/2 inch filler between the spar caps, cut to follow outline of the spar tip. So there's the tip there. What I did here, I created a little cardboard cutout that fits right in there. So I'm going to use that as my template to cut the 1/2 inch plywood so it'll fit right on there. One other little thing here, these are 1/2 inch, so 1/2 inch ply fits right in there, and we put it right in there for that blocking there. Now there is one on the main spar, the block's right there that you put in. Now it calls for 1/2 inch as well, but you got to remember this is 1 inch, and 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch is 1 inch, but you've got the 1/8 filler. So you have to sand those blocks flush because they sit proud of that by 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 on each side, depending on the center of the, it's not quite centered, it might be a 1/16 and a hair less than a 1/16 and a hair more than a 1/16. But you're going to sand these so that they're flush, because that is a jury strut, piece of metal. It's going to go right across there on both sides to hold the jury strut. So those have to be sanded so they are right flush with the spar. And they will sit proud of the spar, because a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch and 1/8 of an inch is going to stick out 1/8 of an inch. So we got to take that off on whichever side. You got to sand a bit from both sides to get that nice and flush there. The 1/2 inch filler fits perfect on the rear spar because these are a 1/2 inch, that's a 1/2 inch, so it fits right in there. Just another little peculiarity with the plans and what to follow with the plans. But I figure the best thing with this one is to cut that 1/2 inch plywood just using a template like that, and then it should fit right in there. All right, that's it for today. Well, not quite, I'm still working, but we'll keep you informed.